It's still the morning of the 19th. Clip on Bare Naked Islam. Sounds too good to be true. 10 European countries are quietly shrinking their Muslim population through new restrictions, laws, and immigration measures that discourage Muslims from wanting to move there. These European countries that allegedly are removing Muslims are reshaping their demographic future with strict border controls, limited asylum policies, and controversial national security decisions. Let's see what's in this clip. Europe removing Muslims.
25, a quiet storm is moving across Europe and most people have no idea it is even happening. There are no breaking news alerts, no dramatic headlines, yet whole Muslim neighborhoods are shrinking.
This is a 31-minute clip. I'll play about 15 minutes of it.
Mosques are facing new restrictions, and families suddenly find that their legal status is questioned. This is not about open conflict. It is about laws, forms, and decisions taken in silent offices where faith slowly turns into a risk factor. You have heard for years that the Muslim population in Europe is growing. Now some governments seem determined to reverse that trend through border rules, citizenship tests, and hidden pressure. In this video, we will explore 10 European countries that are, step by step, silently removing Muslims in 2025. This is where the hidden crackdown begins and where the story gets uncomfortable. If you care about what happens to real people behind political slogans, stay with us. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments so we can face this reality together. Number 1, Denmark. Denmark is entering a complicated and deeply debated moment, and the story unfolding in 2025 has drawn concern from researchers, faith leaders, and human rights groups. Many observers say the country is not expressing anger or taking to the streets. Instead, the shift appears in policy files, zoning plans, and population management guidelines. Critics argue that Denmark no longer needs to say that Muslims feel unwelcome because certain laws are sending that message for them. Several Muslim-majority districts have been labeled as non-Western zones, and once a neighborhood reaches around 30% Muslim presence, it reportedly becomes a target for government restructuring. According to IBM independent reports, this leads to demolition orders, forced relocations, and strict redistribution of housing. More than 1,200 Muslim households were moved from their longtime communities between 2023 and 2025, leaving families scattered and long-standing friendships broken. Some mosques were dismantled or denied permits, not through an outright ban, but through approvals that never arrived. Language programs were adjusted, Arabic courses reduced, and youth activities were monitored under what officials call Western integration standards. Supporters of these policies describe them as cultural balancing, yet critics insist that the balance seems to fall disproportionately on Muslim communities. There is growing discussion about lowering the threshold even further, from 30% down to 20% Muslim presence, which may trigger restructuring earlier than before. A leaked memo, referenced by several watchdog groups, suggests that a preemptive ethnic dilution strategy may be under consideration, where Muslim families applying for housing in major cities are redirected to rural areas lacking the support networks they depend on. It is also claimed that more than 3,700 building permits tied to Islamic cultural centers were denied from 2022 to 2025 without formal explanations, while digital monitoring of Muslim community events increased significantly since 2024. For many people living in Denmark today, this is not only a political debate, but also a personal struggle to maintain dignity and belonging. In a world where cultural diversity continues to rise, situations like this remind us how easily communities can be reshaped or displaced through administrative decisions rather than open conversation. As you reflect on this, consider how essential it is to stay informed, advocate for fairness, and nurture environments where trust, respect, and neighborly care remain at the center of modern life. Number 2, Austria. Austria in 2025 looks calm, efficient, and orderly on the outside. Yet many observers say that beneath that calm surface, a hidden crackdown is quietly reshaping what it means to live as a Muslim in this European country. Daily life in the streets may seem normal, but behind office doors, a powerful administrative system is watching, tracking, and slowly tightening its grip. Mosques have come under steady surveillance since around 2021, and more than 40 imams have reportedly been deported under national security claims, even though critics point out that many were never convicted of any crime. New transparency laws require every Muslim organization to disclose any foreign donations, and in practice, this has led to the closure of numerous Islamic centers that could not meet the new standards or handle the scrutiny. Sermons are recorded and monitored, and those that speak too strongly about Islamic identity or community rights are flagged. Permits are withdrawn, halls fall silent, and spaces that once held vibrant worship and catechesis-style teaching are slowly emptied out. At the same time, faith leaders and human rights advocates note that no churches or temples are examined with the same intensity, leaving many Muslims feeling as if they live under a permanent magnifying glass. In 2025 alone, more than 1,600 Muslim community events were reportedly canceled or denied permits, often without clear reasons. A new artificial intelligence-based profiling system now scans Friday prayer gatherings and cross-checks attendees with immigration and tax databases, turning what should be a moment of peace before God into a moment of quiet fear. Citizenship applications from Muslims have dropped by about 70% as background checks grow more invasive and seemingly endless. Even Muslim burial practices are under review, with local councils limiting cemetery space and creating uncertainty about how believers will be laid to rest with dignity. In Vienna, rumors have spread about a hidden registry that might be tagging devout Muslims as cultural risks, feeding a feeling that, for some, faith itself has become suspicious. For many people of faith watching this from inside and outside Austria, the concern is not only about one community but about the future of religious freedom for everyone. When belief is treated as a threat, society starts to forget that every person carries an unrepeatable dignity. In our modern world, where technology can be used either to protect or to pressure, it is more important than ever to stay attentive, to support fair laws, and to stand beside neighbors whose voices are being pushed to the edge. As you listen to stories like this, let it be a reminder to defend the space where conscience can breathe, to build friendships across differences, and to make sure that no one in our shared human family is quietly erased from the map of public life. Number 3. Greece. In the hidden story of how some European countries are said to be silently removing Muslims in 2025, Greece stands out not through open violence, but through fences, paperwork, and quiet decisions that rarely make headlines. In Greece, Islam does not face bullets, it faces barbed wire. Since around 2020, many Muslim asylum seekers have been held in camps the government still calls temporary. Yet by 2025, countless men, women, and children have lived behind metal fences for more than 18 months. They are not officially prisoners, but they cannot leave freely. They are not convicted criminals, but daily life feels like punishment. The Greek mainland offers little refuge. Permits for mosques are often delayed, denied, or simply ignored, and Athens, a city of nearly 4 million people, has only one official mosque for its Muslim population. As a result, Muslim children grow up with almost no cultural spaces, no teachers who share and understand their background, and very little sense of belonging. This does not feel like a random accident. Many observers describe it as engineered exclusion, a deliberate policy that makes being Muslim not illegal on paper, but nearly unlivable in practice. Reports based on satellite images from 2024 describe fences around refugee camps being raised even higher and topped with motion sensors, turning temporary shelters into long-term zones of isolation. More than 23,000 asylum claims from Muslim applicants have been frozen, not clearly rejected, just left to decay in administrative limbo, while people wait and wait with no timeline for an answer. Inside these camps, doctors and aid workers speak about a growing mental health crisis, especially among Muslim teenagers who have not seen a classroom in years. Local rules now restrict group prayer in public parks, targeting Ramadan gatherings with quiet fines that send a loud message. Imams who lead worship in unofficial prayer rooms risk sudden deportation without a public trial. At the same time, churches receive state support, while Islamic centers are fined for zoning violations that, according to some lawyers, do not even appear clearly in written regulations. By 2025, many humanitarian organizations have withdrawn after facing intense pressure and surveillance threats, leaving fewer witnesses to what is happening on the ground.
Why don't you just go back to the shitholes they came from? I mean, it's really that simple. Like, get rid of Ilhan Omar out of our Congress. I mean, the thing's a joke. The bitch married her brother to bring him in the country. Where's Tom Hammond in all this? Oh, he's too busy collecting $50,000 in paper bags. I only played 8 minutes of a 31-minute clip. I guess they're going to go through a number of other countries. And it's really simple. Go back to the shithole you came from. That's sort of what I think. You don't want to hear it? Don't listen.